I was extremely fortunate because even though I met my wife when she was 39, she was ready for a change. But my wife is the exception and not the rule. So when men ask me if they should look for a woman in their late 30s, I tell them absolutely not. I tell them to always date younger women. Not because you want control, but because you want enthusiasm. And there is a big difference between the two. Older women don't approach relationships the same way once they hit a certain age. They've been through way too many breakups, too many disappointments, too many situationships, and way too many bad choices. As a result, they don't bond first, they calculate first. You're not meeting curiosity like you are when you're meeting younger women. You're meeting caution. You see, guys, when it comes to dating older women, affection comes with conditions, sex comes with leverage, and peace comes with requirements. Everything feels negotiated. She's not experiencing you as a man she desires. She's evaluating you as a life option. And that mindset absolutely destroys polarity. They like to call these ridiculous requirements boundaries. And to their credit, sometimes it actually is. But most of the time, it's just fear disguised with pretty language and watered down terms. Because when someone's been burned enough times, they stop giving freely. They ration their emotions, meaning they're almost never really all in. Younger women haven't built those walls yet. They tend to respond faster to confidence, direction, presence, and certainty. With younger women, it's less analysis and more feeling. And attraction lives in feeling, not spreadsheets. Older women often want commitment before desire, while younger women often feel desire because of the man. One is choosing safety, while the other is choosing you. That creates completely different relationship dynamics. Ladies, men thrive where they're wanted, not negotiated with. So fellas, choose the environment where your presence creates excitement, not evaluation. Subscribe and hit that notification. Nala and other OF girls who have found God. Then they like to squawk, God forgives, God forgives. Okay, maybe they're right, but there are two flaws to this argument with regards to their own value. Number one, yes, God forgives your whoredom, but men aren't God, which means that men ain't gonna forgive you like God does. It's not God that gives out the rings, ladies. It's men. Number two, and most importantly, again, God forgave prostitutes, but when it was time to choose a mother for his son, God chose a virgin. Let me repeat that again for the ladies in the back. God chose a virgin to be the mother of his son, not a prostitute. You see, ladies, while forgiveness is mercy, selection is judgment. One cleans the past, the other protects the future. Modern culture teaches men that if we don't accept the woman's past, then you're cruel. However, divine logic states that you can forgive a woman and still not choose her. No, God did not insult the impure. He didn't give up on whores, and he didn't damn all sinners to hell. He simply didn't build his legacy on them. Standards do not require hatred, gentlemen. They require clarity. And today's men confuse this distinction. They think compassion equals obligation. But what they do not understand is that mercy is optional while commitment is earned. God didn't choose Mary because she was pretty. He chose her because she was pure, predictable, and a virgin. Less chaos, less baggage, more certainty of lineage and loyalty. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to talk about. Every serious decision in life is selective. Jobs select, colleges select, professional sports teams select, the list goes on. But when men select in relationships, suddenly it's you're judgmental. The same God who forgave sinners also set boundaries for purity and holiness. Mercy without standards creates disorder. So fellas, you are allowed to forgive a woman's past without volunteering to carry it. This isn't cruelty. It is self-preservation. So be kind to everyone, but build your future with the qualified. Even heaven has gates, ladies, and not everyone gets to enter. It's the same with high-caliber men who are looking for a quality woman to commit to. Subscribe and hit that. Way too many men out here thinking they actually need a woman to make them happy. But gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, there's a very small percentage of men out there right now with no girlfriend, no side chicks, no situationships, not even a sneaky link. It's just him. No distractions, no emotional drama, no validation addiction. Just focus. While you're all out here chasing women, he's chasing competence, money, skills, strength, and status. And he is building all of this brick by brick. People think he's lonely. He is loading, because male value is built in silence, obscurity, and repetition. The kind of sacrifice that nobody claps for. Nobody sees the 5 a.m. mornings, the empty weekends, and the missed nights out with the boys. But they will see the results. Right now, women are ignoring him, laughing at him, and friend-zoning him. But that's fine because time is on his side. Because the man who can sit alone without needing female attention is a man who becomes unstoppable. So wherever you are, gentlemen, keep building, keep grinding, and keep going. Victory is inevitable to the men who put in the work. Never forget that. Subscribe and hit that notification. Exactly why I am always telling you guys to talk to attractive girls. Why? Because they rarely get approached. And the reason for that is that most men are too intimidated to try. Guys, you have got to understand that while beautiful women have endless options, most of those options lack the courage to approach them. These girls are constantly inundated with likes, stares, stares and DMs. But very few men actually walk up and speak to attractive women confidently. And that's because average men assume she's out of my league. She probably has a boyfriend. She gets approached all the time. What ends up happening is they disqualify themselves before reality does. And the cold hard truth about attraction is that fear eliminates competition. Attractive women are used to awkward energy, nervous compliments, and men seeking approval. Confidence stands out immediately to attractive women because it's something they rarely experience. Your advantage isn't your looks, gentlemen. It's your boldness. A calm, direct man with presence beats a silent admirer 9 days a week. And opportunity belongs to the man who acts, not the man who hesitates. The girl you think that's unreachable is often waiting for a confident man to just walk up and say hello. Be that guy. And if you need a little push to turn into that guy, head to datingwisdom.net. Link in description. This is exactly why this false vulnerability nonsense women like to squawk about is absolute nonsense. Because I'm here to tell you that the men with the biggest hearts attract the most draining, disloyal, disrespectful, and extremely difficult women. That's not coincidence, guys. That's access. Because big-hearted men give extra chances, extra patience, and extra forgiveness. And the wrong woman reads that as no consequences. Kindness without boundaries is an open invitation for women to walk right in and use you. Not for healthy love, but for opportunities. Because unscrupulous women don't hunt strong men. They hunt the tolerant ones. You think you're being understanding? Nah, player. She just thinks you're easy to manage. You think loyalty means staying through the chaos? She thinks chaos has no costs. And that's the disconnect. Big-hearted men ignore red flags a lot longer. They see potential, they believe promises, and they excuse disrespect. As a result, love becomes blindness. And as we all know, love is most definitely not blind. Because eventually, blind becomes suffering. So your heart isn't the issue, my guy. Your standards are. So if you actually add boundaries to your kindness, you'll watch the 304s disappear. Subscribe and hit that games and thinking they're somehow winning or somehow getting over on him. But ladies, a man's silence is his final warning. It's not anger, and it's not drama. It's an Irish goodbye loading. Modern women tend to fear men who shout, but they should fear the men who are quiet, because noise means emotion, but silence means decision. When a man stops explaining himself, he has already calculated your value, and the equation no longer works for him. You see, ladies, male psychology is simple. We argue for what we want to keep, but we go silent on what we're ready to lose. The simple truth is that a loud man is still invested, but a silent man is already detached. You're not watching distance. You're watching replacement preparation. Silence is masculine because it signals, I don't need you to understand. I only need to decide. And most women misunderstand this. They think, yeah, he'll be back. No, ho. He's training his nervous system to live without you. And the dangerous part is that once a man reaches emotional neutrality, there is no lever left to pull. Women like to call this sudden change, but men call it, I give you 17 chances you ignored. So ladies, if a man you care about goes quiet, you're not being punished. You're witnessing the exact moment that you stopped being a priority. But maybe I'm wrong, ladies. Maybe I'm off my rocker here. Maybe I'm way off, but I don't think so. Surprise, because the monster you saw after the relationship ended is who she always was. You didn't suddenly meet a different woman. You finally saw who she was when the mask came off. You see, guys, when the relationship benefits her, she's sweet, patient, and understanding. But the moment the respect is gone, or she finds a better option, the real personality appeared. Cold, dismissive, and cruel. That version did not appear overnight. It was always there. You were just too emotionally invested to notice. What you guys need to understand is that love makes men ignore things they normally wouldn't tolerate, until the inevitable breakup forces their eyes to open. So don't waste time asking yourselves, who was that person at the end? That was the most honest version of her you ever saw. Be thankful she's no longer a part of your life. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to get daily dating wisdom just like this.